All right, so are you ready to, like, kind of get out there and see the world?
Always.
I thought so.
Oh.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into travel experiences,
Hmm.
but not just any travel experiences.
Right.
We're going to be looking at the strangest vacation spots around the world. The top 10, actually.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be really interesting for our listeners because we're not just going to talk about like where these places are,
Right.
but we're going to talk about what makes them so unique and appealing, to different types of travelers because not everyone's looking for the same thing when they go on vacation.
Exactly. Some people want to relax on a beach somewhere,
Yeah,
and some people want to climb a mountain.
exactly. Or sleep in a giant dog.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Mm.
A giant dog. What is this, like a fairy tale or something?
It's real. It's called the Dog Bark Park Inn,
Okay.
and it's in Cottonwood, Idaho. And you can actually spend the night inside a giant beagle.
No way. This is like a real building shaped like a beagle.
A real building, yeah. It's a bed and breakfast, and it's made entirely of wood. It was actually built by a couple who are chainsaw artists.
Wow, chainsaw artists. That's incredible. So the whole place is like decorated with dog carvings and stuff.
Yeah, you've got it. Themed decor, dog carvings everywhere, the whole 9 yards.
That's amazing. Okay, I'm putting this on my list.
Yeah.
But maybe we should move on to something a little more, I don't know, underwater.
Underwater, you got it.
Yeah.
How about Jules Undersea Lodge in Florida?
Okay, this sounds promising. So is this like a fancy resort with underwater views or something?
Even better, to get to your room, you actually have to dive 21 feet underwater.
Wait, what? You're telling me I need scuba gear to check in?
Pretty much. It used to be a marine research lab,
Wow.
so guests are basically living in a giant aquarium.
Okay, I have so many questions. Like, how do you even get your luggage down there?
Don't worry, they've got it all figured out.
Mm-hmm.
They have a team of professional divers who help with everything.
Okay, well, that's good to know. But imagine, like, waking up and seeing fish swimming by your window. That'd be incredible.
It's a totally different way to experience the underwater world.
Okay, so we've had dogs and we've had fish. Where are we going next?
How about something a little more historical?
Okay, I'm listening.
Let's go to Liepāja, Latvia.
Latvia, huh?
There's a place called Karosta Sedums. It's a former Soviet military prison.
Whoa, a prison.
Mm.
And people actually stay there.
Yep, it's been turned into a hotel.
Huh. I'm guessing it's not exactly a luxury resort, right?
Not quite. They try to make the experience as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
Guests sleep on hard bunks, eat prison food. They even undergo mock interrogations.
Wow. That sounds intense, like really intense.
It's definitely a unique experience. It gives you a real sense of what life was like under Soviet rule.
Okay, I can see the appeal for history buffs, definitely.
Yeah.
But I think I prefer something a little less confining.
I hear you. How about we head to Peru then?
Peru sounds good. Lots of mountains to climb there, right?
Right, specifically to the Sacred Valley. Have you heard of the Skylodge Adventure Suites?
Can't say I have, but I like the name. What of it?
So picture this. You're 400 meters up a cliff face in a transparent pod.
A transparent pod hanging off a cliff. I mean, that sounds incredible, but also a little terrifying.
It's definitely for the thrill seeker. To get to your pod, you have to either climb a via ferrata or hike a pretty challenging trail.
A via ferrata, huh?
Yeah.
That's like those climbing routes with the cables and ladders and stuff, right?
Exactly. It's not for the faint of heart.
I'm not afraid of heights, but I'm not sure I'd be comfortable sleeping in a transparent box hanging off a cliff.
Well, the views are supposed to be absolutely incredible, especially at night.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, this one might take some convincing. Let's keep going. What else is on the list?
All right, how about we cool things down a bit?
Cool things down, huh? You're not going to suggest we go ice fishing in Antarctica, are you?
Not quite. But we are going somewhere cold. We're heading to Sweden.
Sweden, okay.
To a place called Jukkasjärvi. Ever heard of the Icehotel?
Icehotel. The name kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it? Is this a hotel made of ice?
You got it. It's built fresh every winter.
What?
Using ice and snow from the Tornay River.
So the entire building, the walls, the furniture, everything's made of ice.
Pretty much.
Wow, that's incredible. And people actually sleep there, like in beds made of ice.
Yep. They give you special thermal sleeping bags to stay warm.
I bet you need those. I'm already shivering just thinking about it. But it sounds like a once-in-a-lifetime experience for sure.
It is, and every year they have different artists design the rooms, so it's always changing.
So it's like a giant temporary art installation that you can sleep in.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Okay, I'm warming up to this one. I guess it's not as cold as I thought.
Well, it is literally below freezing, but I think you'd be surprised how comfortable they make it. All right, ready for the next one?
Hey.
Let's go to Germany.
Oh, Germany.
Okay, what's in Germany?
Specifically, Stuttgart. home of the V8 Hotel. The V8 Hotel. Okay, I'm sensing a theme here. Does this have something to do with cars?
You know it. This hotel is a car enthusiast's dream. Each room is designed around a different car-themed concept.
So we're talking like beds shaped like cars and racing stripes on the walls.
Think more like drive-in theater rooms, car wash suites. There are even beds built into actual vintage cars.
Wow. I can see why they call it the V8 Hotel. That's pretty cool.
Hmm?
Okay, what else have we got?
Let's travel to Tokyo, Japan. Have you ever heard of capsule hotels?
Capsule hotels, yeah. Those are those tiny little sleeping pods, right?
Exactly. They're all about efficiency and making the most of limited space.
So they're basically like little futuristic coffins.
They're a little bigger than a coffin, but yeah, they're small. You basically just have enough room for a bed and maybe a small shelf.
I've always been curious about those. They seem like something out of a sci-fi movie.
They are pretty high-tech, actually. They often have TVs, mood lighting, and Wi-Fi all built in.
Wow. I can see how they'd be popular with solo travelers or people who are just looking for a place to crash for the night.
Yeah, they're perfect for that. Plus, they're usually pretty affordable.
Okay, let's keep moving. Where are we off to next?
Let's go to New Zealand.
New Zealand. Beautiful scenery, right? Lots of sheep.
Yep, all that. But we're actually going to a place called the Boot Bed and Breakfast.
The Boot Bed and Breakfast. Wait, is this like a hotel shaped like a giant boot?
You guessed it. It's a two-story cottage shaped like a boot, complete with a spiral staircase leading up to the bedroom.
That's amazing. Is this like a kid-friendly place?
It could be, yeah. It's also perfect for a romantic getaway. The whole place is super cozy and charming. Plus, it has beautiful gardens.
Okay, that sounds really cute. I'm adding this one to my list.
All right, next up, we're heading to Vietnam. Have you heard of the Hang Nunga Guesthouse?
Can't say I have. Tell me more.
It's also known as the Crazy House, and it definitely lives up to its name.
Crazy house, huh? Sounds intriguing. So what makes it so crazy?
It's hard to even describe. The architecture is unlike anything you've ever seen.
Okay.
It's like a mix of a treehouse, a cave, and a Salvador Dali painting all rolled into one.
Whoa. That's a lot to take in. So we're talking like strange shapes, twisting passageways, maybe some hidden rooms.
We're getting the idea. It's really a place you have to experience to understand. It's meant to be a surreal, dreamlike experience.
Okay, I'm definitely adding this one to the list. Now I'm really curious. All right, last but not least, where are we ending our journey?
Let's go to Nairobi, Kenya.
Kenya. Okay, so are we going on safari?
Sort of. We're going to a place called Giraffe Manor.
Giraffe Manor. Okay, I'm intrigued. What is that?
It's a boutique hotel where you can have breakfast with giraffes.
Wait, what? Like giraffes just come up to the breakfast table?
Yep. The manor is home to a herd of Rothschild's giraffes that roam the property. They often poke their heads in the windows hoping for a treat.
Wow, that's amazing. What a unique experience.
Yeah.
So out of all these incredible places, do you have a favorite?
Ooh, that's a tough one. But I think the Giraffe Manor is pretty special.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you there. It's not every day you get to have breakfast with a giraffe.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired to start planning my next adventure.
Me too. And, the great thing is there are so many other amazing and unusual destinations out there just waiting to be discovered. It really makes you think about, the connection between humans and animals and how special those moments can be.
It's amazing to think that all these places we've talked about, they exist. Like, out there in the world right now, people are sleeping in giant dogs and having breakfast with giraffes.
I know, right? It just shows you that travel can be so much more than just, going to the same old tourist spots.
Right. It's about finding those unique experiences that speak to you personally, whether it's, connecting with nature or exploring history or just having some fun and embracing the quirky side of life.
Absolutely. It's about creating those memories that will last a lifetime.
Okay, so let's dive a little deeper into some of these destinations and talk about, what makes them so special. So starting with the Dog Park Inn, what is it about this place that draws people in, besides the fact that it's shaped like a giant beagle?
Well, for one thing, the owners are incredibly passionate about dogs.
Okay.
And that passion really shines through in every detail of the inn. They've filled it with all sorts of dog-themed decor and, hand-carved sculptures.
I can imagine. It's like a dog lover's paradise.
It is. And I bet they have some amazing stories about, the people who have stayed there over the years.
Yeah, I'd love to hear those stories.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm curious about Jules Undersea Lodge. What's it actually like to live underwater surrounded by fish?
Well, it's definitely a unique experience. You're not just looking at the ocean through a window. You're actually immersed in it.
Right.
You can hear the sounds of the ocean, see the light filtering through the water, and, feel the current.
It sounds so peaceful, like almost meditative in a way.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, it's a totally different way to experience the world.
Okay, so from the tranquility of the ocean to, well, a much different kind of experience, let's talk about the Sedum's prison hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, this one's a little hard to grasp for me. Why would anyone choose to stay in a former prison?
Yeah, it's definitely not for everyone, but for some people, it's a way to connect with history in a very visceral way.
All right.
Like they want to experience what it was actually like to be in prison there.
Right, to get a sense of the reality of that time period.
Exactly. And I think for some people, there's also an element of personal challenge involved. Can they handle sleeping on a hard bunk and eating prison food? It's like testing your limits in a way.
Right. Okay, well, from the intensity of a prison cell to the heights of adventure, let's talk about the Skylodge Adventure Suites.
Yeah.
I mean, you're literally sleeping in a transparent box
Yeah.
hanging off a cliff.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
What kind of person is drawn to that kind of experience?
Well, definitely someone who's looking for an adrenaline rush and who's not afraid of heights. But I think it goes beyond that, too. It's about pushing your boundaries and experiencing something truly unique and unforgettable.
Right. And the views, I mean, they must be absolutely breathtaking.
They are, especially at night when you can see the stars above you in the valley below.
Wow. Okay. Now I'm thinking maybe I need to add this one to my list. All right. So from the heights of the Andes, let's head back down to Earth and talk about the Icehotel. What is it about this place that makes it so special?
Well, for one thing, it's a work of art.
All right.
Like every year, they have different artists come and design the rooms and the sculptures.
Wow. And then it all just melts away in the spring.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. It's a reminder that nothing is permanent.
Yeah, I like that. That's
Yeah.
a good reminder. Okay. From the icy beauty of the Icehotel to the roar of engines, let's talk about the V8 Hotel. This one seems like a dream come true for car lovers.
It is. The level of detail in the rooms is amazing.
What kind of rooms are we talking about here?
Well, there's the drive-in theater room where you can watch movies from your bed, which is actually inside a vintage car.
No way.
And then there's the car wash suite where the shower is designed to look like a car wash. And there's even a room with the bed built into a Mercedes-Benz.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, so for our listeners who maybe aren't as into cars, let's move on to something a little more universal. Capsule hotels. I mean, I've always been fascinated by these. They seem so futuristic and efficient.
They are, and they're surprisingly comfortable.
Really? So
Yeah.
what's it like to actually sleep in one?
Well, it's definitely cozy. You basically have just enough space to lie down and maybe store a small bag.
Right.
But they often have all sorts of amenities built in, like TVs, charging stations, Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I've heard they're pretty high tech.
They are, and they're a great option for travelers who are on a budget or who are just looking for a place to crash for the night.
Right. Okay, so from the minimalist design of capsule hotels to the fairy tale charm of the boot bed and breakfast, this one seems like a real contrast.
It is. But you know what they both have in common? They're both unique and memorable experiences.
Right. It's about finding those places that spark your imagination and make you feel like you're stepping into a different world.
Exactly. So tell me, what do you think of the boot bed and breakfast?
Well, I think it's adorable.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't want to sleep in a giant boot? It just seems like a fun, whimsical place to stay.
I agree. And it would be perfect for a romantic getaway or, a family vacation with kids.
Right. It's like something out of a storybook.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm really curious about the crazy house in Vietnam. You said it was hard to describe, but can you try?
Okay, so imagine a building that's like part treehouse, part cave, part Gaudi masterpiece.
Whoa. Okay, so lots of organic shapes, curves, maybe some hidden passageways.
Yeah, you're getting it. It's really a place that defies categorization.
It sounds like a dream come true for architecture lovers.
Yeah.
Or anyone who appreciates the unconventional.
It is. It's truly a one-of-a-kind place.
Okay, and finally, we come to the Giraffe Manor. I mean, breakfast with giraffes, it just sounds magical.
It is. It's a really special experience. The giraffes are so gentle and graceful.
And I bet the manor itself is beautiful, too.
It is. It's a historic building with lots of charm.
This is definitely going on my bucket list.
Ah,
So I think we've covered a pretty amazing range of destinations here.
we have.
From the heights of the Andes to the depths of the ocean, from fairy tale cottages to futuristic sleeping pods.
And everything in between.
Exactly. And it really makes you think, like what's out there? What else is possible?
Right, like we get so caught up in our daily routines that we forget there's this whole world of incredible experiences just waiting for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for someone listening right now who's thinking, okay, I'm sold, where do I start? What advice would you give them? How do they even begin to choose from all these amazing options?
Well, I think the first step is to really think about what kind of experience you're looking for.
Yeah.
Like, what are your passions? What are you curious about? Do you want adventure, relaxation, cultural immersion? Or maybe you just want to try something completely different, something that will challenge you and push you outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. It's about finding those experiences that align with your values and interests.
Exactly. And once you have a better sense of what you're looking for, you can start researching different destinations.
Right. And I think it's important to be open to the unexpected.
Absolutely. Sometimes the best experiences are the ones you didn't even know you were looking for.
That's so true. I mean, who would have thought that sleeping in a giant beagle or having breakfast with giraffes would be such incredible experiences?
Right. And who knows what other amazing and unusual destinations are out there just waiting to be discovered.
Exactly. So for our listener, I think the takeaway here is to be curious, be open to new possibilities, and don't be afraid to embrace the strange and the wonderful.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, this has been an incredible journey. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired to start planning my next adventure.
Me too. I think I might just book a flight to Kenya and have breakfast with those giraffes myself.
Sounds like a plan. Well, that's it for our deep dive into the world of strange and wonderful vacation spots. We hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, keep exploring.